Okay. So basically, in the last chapter which we were doing, that is validation and derivation, so we had only one topic which is left, that is parallel processing, which I am preparing the demo. So because still I'm in middle of that. So mostly next week I can, or next class I can show it to you. And there was some question from Joe's. So that question or the topic which needs to be discussed, nothing more than that. So I'm taking these two things for next class, or like when I, so make sure we will not lose the thing what we are planning for. However, today I will talk about little bit on Joe's question, that is MDG 9.0. Okay. Today I'm going to start the new chapter, that is search and duplicate check. Okay. So after the validation and derivation, I'm going to talk about the new chapter, which is search and duplicate check. That's what I just want to talk about little bit about the search and duplicate check, and then I will come to MDG 9.0, which was Joe's question last week. So we can talk about little bit on 9.0 as well. So first of all, how many different type of search we have in MDG, and why search and duplicate check is important for MDG. Whatever the master data, so far what we have seen, that we are creating the master data, whether we are change master data, whether we are mark for deletion of master data. So these are all activity so far we have seen respect to the master data. Let's say I have thousands of master data in my database. Now, how I will get the particular master data? That is by using the search mechanism. By using the search, specific master data, whether it is a material data or custom, find out a specific master data which I'm looking for. Okay. So now, how many different type of search we have in MDG? Basically, we have 4 different type of search. One is database search. Another one is key search. Third one, database search. And the fourth one is enterprise search. So basically, different type of search we have. So what is called database search? So this search find the data in a database based on user specific search criteria. So which is very simple thing. So whatever the search criteria we will give, based on that it will search. But the major point here is in the database search that every single time we will give the search criteria, it will directly hit the database. It will directly hit the database and provide the search result. So database search is the one where this type of search finds the data in the data your specific search criteria. The most important thing here is it it will directly hit the database on every occasion, whatever the search criteria you will provide, and based on that it will provide the result, search result. That is nothing but database search. That means the search which hit the database directly and fetch the data for you. Now coming to the next type of search, that is called key search. So key search is performed in a hub system, allowing you to search for object by IDs across the different system. Across the landscape. Where the object ID on the client system is not identical to the object ID on the hub. So what kind of search it is? So basically, what is called key? Key means remote key. What is the remote key? Like remote key system or remote system. Like we have the system which we have here, the remote desktop connection we have, where we do all kind of practice or discussions. So that is kind of a remote system, where from our laptop or from our desktop we try to connect the system, right? So this is a completely separate environment where we have a SAP system and we can able to access the system from our own desktop or own laptop or from our own system. So this is nothing but the remote key system. Key search is basically performed in a hub system which allowing you to search for an object by ID. So that means, let's say, for an example, I have, let's say, there is a system 1 and there is a system 2. Okay. So now, how the search is happening? So let's say from system 1, I want to do the search in system 2. System 1, I will trigger the search and the search will execute in system 2. So this is nothing but the remote key search, where we are entering the another system remotely and performing the search. So now, how the perform the search here? So we have basically, so let's say this is the hub concept where we have multiple systems, but they are the different systems. They are the indigenous systems, right? So now we have some certain ID, object ID. Okay. So the search is happening based on the object ID. So this object ID, the specific object ID which I'm using for search, this object ID will go to the system 2 and try to perform the search. So if the object ID match, then the search will execute. But if it is not match, that means the search is not match. Okay. So this is nothing but a remote key, where we remotely go to certain system and perform the search. This is nothing but the remote key search. So key search is performed in a hub system, allowing you to search for object by IDs across the landscape. Definitely system 1, system 2, this is my landscape. So across the landscape it is helping to search, where the object ID on the client system is not identical to the object ID the object the client ID which I have in hub. By using that ID, I'm going to the specific system and doing the search. So this ID will be, let's say, linked with some certain unit of detail, remote systems.
Aditya, we hear a lot of breaks. We're not able to hear it correctly, Aditya. I'm not sure.
In most of the systems. Whatever is possible, I'm trying my best.
Yeah, we're not able to hear it, whatever you said the last 1 minute. I'm not sure whether others are able to hear it. Last few seconds, I'm not able to hear anything.
Yeah, there are some cracks actually. Voice is not synchronous.
Yeah.
Is my voice clear now? Hello,
Yeah.
is the audio clear now? Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yes. Okay.
okay. Someone please give me the screen sharing access. Pawan, are you there? Can you please give me the screen sharing access? Okay. Okay, so what I was talking about? So I was talking about the remote key search. So how the remote key search is happening? So the search is happening from one to another system. So we are trying to do the search by using some certain object ID, and this object ID go across the landscape and search accordingly. So like for an example, I am in system 1, so I have certain object. With this object ID, this certain object ID search in system which we use to perform any kind of. Now coming so HANA based search is the one which is by name itself it is understandable that the search is happening on HANA database. Usually we have an Oracle database, so we have the HANA database and we can perform the search. So what is the use of that? As the advantage of HANA has, like the search will be a little faster, the search will be, it is more user friendly for customer. So these are all few benefits we have in the HANA database compared to the other type of search. Now coming to the enterprise search. Enterprise search is basically, it is based on T-Rex, okay, which is NetWeaver okay. So NetWeaver, so enterprise search is based on T-Rex, which is NetWeaver search engine. Okay, so
Hi,
T-Rex is
Aditya.
absolutely when uh, yeah, tell
Sorry, it's
me.
breaking again. Yeah, it's breaking.
Okay, at least whatever it is possible, listen to me. If possible, I will repeat the same thing in the next class. Okay, so whatever it is possible, at least try to listen. I will repeat the same thing in the next class. Okay, so T-Rex enterprise search is based on T-Rex, which is a SAP NetWeaver search engine. So T-Rex is a different concept altogether, which associate in MDG, which associate with MDG. Okay, so we are going to talk about the search criteria. So basically, majorly, which are those search we use in real-time scenario? We use database search, HANA-based search, and enterprise search. This is the three major search we use in our real-time scenario. Okay. Now, database search. If I say database search, for which are those cases we can use database search? Basically for customer and that means for BP. For BP data model, we use this database search. Now coming to the enterprise search. Enterprise search, we basically use for customer. So we basically use for, for material, not for customer, for material. Data model. So database search for customer and supplier, enterprise search for material, also for finance, it is database search. So it is OG data model. Also, I can say for any kind of custom data, custom master data. any kind of custom master data. That means for any kind of custom data model. So database search is basically used for customer, supplier, finance, and custom master data. So it is applicable for BP data model, OG data model, and custom data model, which starts with Y or Z. Where enterprise search is specifically used for material, that is MM data model. Okay. HANA based search. HANA based search can be used for all kind of a database. So all kind of a database it can easily access. For all kind of a master data we can access by using the HANA based search. Whether it is a material or customer or finance or custom master data, all kind of search can be possible by using the HANA based search. Okay. So this is nothing but the different type of search mechanism. So this is a different type of search. These are all master data can be used for specifically that particular type of search. Now the question is, why by using the enterprise search we cannot able to do the customer master data, supplier master data, or finance master data, or custom master data? The reason is, for enterprise search we use T-Rex concept, as we have mentioned here. T-Rex. This the material master data. Okay, so it is not compatible with customer master data or supplier master data or finance master data or any kind of custom master data. So that's what it is not applicable for database. Sorry, the enterprise search is not applicable for customer, supplier, finance, or these are all searches, master data. Now, the next is, we will start with another item that is called access class. What is called access class? So now I'm going back little bit to the data. I'm going back to the data model. So SAP screen. Not sure whether you are able to see the SAP screen. Can you please confirm? You can able to see this SAP screen?
Yes, yes. Yeah, Aditya.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to MDG IMG transaction. Okay, there might be some screen delay. That's what I'm telling you, that which transaction I'm accessing at this moment. So at least you can catch that where exactly I am in. So I'm accessing MDG IMG transaction, where I'm going to the data model and I'm trying to go to the edit data model, where I can see the list of data model which is for standard and the customized data model which is listed out. Okay, so that means I'm going to the data model to see the access class. Now, so here I'm right now in data model screen. So now let's say I'm selecting BP data, okay, and click on the left hand side. I have a reuse active area. So click on the reuse active area which is at the left hand side of the screen. So when I click on the reuse active area, I can see the active area which is available for BP data model, that is nothing but partner. That means, what is the use of this active area partner? This active area is basically help to move the data from staging to the active area. We know the staging area concept, we know the active area concept. So this is the active area which is helping to move the data. Which kind of data? All standard data. To move all the standard information from staging to active. And who is helping for this activity? That is nothing but the access class. So basically, access class is the one which is helping for this specific activity. So similarly, if I back to material, okay, and again, if I click on, if I select the data model and click on reuse active area, same way I can see there is an active area, that is material, which is particularly responsible for movement of any kind of standard or customized data from staging to the active area. And this is the access class which is helping for this activity. Okay. Now let me copy one of the access class and go to the transaction AC24. So I'm going to one new screen, and there I'm trying to call the so this is the access class. Now if I go to this access class and particularly the method, what kind of method we can see? These are all method. Basically, if you see the major methods which is available here, that is this one, if underscore usmd underscore pp underscore access save. That means save the data to the database. So this is the class which help to save the data to the database. Now another kind of activity which happening, that is check data. This particular method, this check data method is helping to validate the information before we send it to the staging to the active area. So if I back to the uh, Excel sheet, so I can say access class is the one which help to move the data from staging area to active area. Okay, staging area to active area. And what are those different methods we have under this access class? Like save data, to save the data to the database. Like check data, to check the data in the database. NQ DQ. What is called NQ DQ? NQ means log the data. So that means, let's say I have one change request. So I'm accessing the change request and you are also trying to access the same change request at the same time. What you will get? You will get the notification that it has been logged by some other user. So that means one at a time the data can be accessed by one particular user. That is nothing but data means change request. The change request can be accessed by one user one at a time, right? Other kind of methods are like derived data. So if I want to do any derive activity while the movement of staging to active area, that also I can perform here. Also we have execute the material search. To perform the material search, Now, that means it is quite clear that access class is not only used to move the data from staging to active. Access class having also a major responsibility, that is perform search. Perform search. Any kind of search activity, access class is helping for that. Okay. Now, so this is the access class for material. Same way, if I go to the access class for BP, let's see what are those. Uh, One second. Let me go to the data model and go select the BP data model and click on the left hand side reuse active area section, and respect to the partner active area, whatever the access class I have, I just copied that access class and try to access that particular access class. So this is the one, which is CL MDG BS BP access master. This is the access class for BP. Let's see what kind of activity we can able to do. What are those major methods we have? We have major method that is nothing but read the value. So any kind of read data that can be possible through this access class. Any kind of derive data, any kind of derivation activity that is can be possible through this access class. Save data, to save the data to the database, this access class is using. Check data, to check the data or validate the data, this particular access class is using. Get mapping information, to map the information like from reuse area to, staging area to the active area. So for that kind of activity, it helps. Also, it helps for this adaptation result list, which is related to the search, and particularly the HANA based search. Similarly, if I go down, I can also see some of the method which is get field property. So any kind of field property activities, I can get it from here. Also, I can see the NQ and DQ activity, which is lock unlock activity. Okay. So these are all major activity, and along with that, the activity which we have here also, that is nothing but the search. So this is, it is not only help to move the data from staging to active, at the same time, it is also help to perform the search, master data for customer and supplier or for BP data model. So now if I, so that means access class, whether it is a business partner or it is a material, the major activity for the access class is to help to move the data from staging to active area and also perform the search activity. Now, that is okay, that we understand so far that it is help in search. But how it help in search? What is the architecture that it help in the search level? Now, here in the Excel sheet, I'm trying to draw the architecture, how it is happening. So let's say my data is do the things in such a way, requester, verifier, and approver. So requester submit the change request. Based on that, the data will go to the staging area. Then the change request will come to the verifier. So verifier, let's say, approve it. Still the data is in staging area. Then it is in approval level. The data will move from staging to active area. Staging to active. While the data is moving from staging to active, what exactly happening? The access class is exactly placed here. So when the data is so when the data moves from staging area to active area, the data goes through the access class. The data goes through the access class when the data movement is happening from staging to the active area. Okay. What exactly happening? Access class is taking one image of the data. The concept of buffering, what we see in the buffering, like the takes an image of, okay, so let's say I'm trying to access google.com. So for access, the amount of time it is taking in the following uh, uh, occurrence when we are calling the same google.com, it takes less time. Why? Because system has taken the image that because of that reason it is quite easy to call, and that's what the process is little faster. Apply here, that is when the data is passing through the access class, access class is taking the image of the data, and what exactly happening when I'm performing particularly the enterprise search or the database search. Search first apply on the access class. That means the search will first hit the access class and try to see whether the data or the search criteria I have is that the any certain data it has in the access class. If it is there in the buffer area of the access class, then immediately it will pick the data and it will give the search result. But if it is not there, then it will go. That means it makes the entire activity little easy. So while I'm doing the enterprise search or database search, first the search hit the access class. If the data is available in the access class, then it's fine, then it will give the result. If it is not available, then the search criteria will go to the database level and search the data and throw back. That's what the access class have significance in the search activity. So access class is not only available in the data model, also it has a significance for MDG search. Okay. So now I'm going to show you one uh, uh, one video which has been captured earlier in our execution. So please let me know, can you see my screen where I have the material governance homepage? Can you please confirm that?
Yes, Aditya, we are seeing that.
Okay. So this is the earlier execution which we have captured. So I just want to show you. So we have talked about so far search, different type of search, etc. But how the search look like? How exactly search happen in MDG? So here so first we go to the NWBC. NWBC Material Master Governance page, where we have a search material. Okay. So first click on search material. The moment you click on search help, this kind of screen will appear. Okay, where you have a search material and you have a search method, which kind of search you are using. So definitely for material, without any doubt, it is a enterprise search, or it can be HANA based search. Yes. Okay. So now also you can see following to that, I have some certain search criteria. It can be material number, industry sector, or description, or I can add multiple search criteria over here. And result. So this is the page. Here, what I am trying to do, I'm trying to search certain material by just giving some description. So I have a section called search term, where I'm giving just one general description. I don't know the material number, I don't know the industry sector, I don't know unit of measure or any other details. I know only the description little bit. So based on that, I'm trying to do the search. See, here the first input as a search term, that is nothing but bearing. So bearing is a word for me as a search criteria. So after giving this search criteria, when I click on search button, what these are all list of material which has been appeared, which is related to description which is bearing. Bearing. So respect to that, these are all material which is available in the result list. Okay. Now, in this list, you can see there are total 10 materials available here. Few materials having this clock beside the material number, and few material does not have. What is the meaning of that? To having this clock meaning is this material is in staging area. How come? I can see the material number. Then how this material is in staging area? I can say maybe this material got in a change scenario. So this material, however, material number, but this material is gone for might be the change scenario. That's what it is still in the approval level, and that's what it is still in the staging area. So the clock symbol beside the material number, that means this data is in staging area. So one thing it is pretty clear from this, the search is happening irrespective of staging and active area. So this is one of the most important statement. So the search, so sometimes people ask that whether the search is only happening for the active area. No. Search happens irrespective to active and staging. Okay, irrespective to active and staging. That's what you can see, some of the data from staging area, some of the data from active area. Okay, then I'm moving with, so now I'm giving some more description. That means I'm going to dig into it. I'm giving some more relevant description for material. So here I have given bearing deep and search. See, previously the total number of material was 10. Now the total number of material which found, that is 4. That means I'm going into the deep of the description. The relevant material are the limited materials I can get it. I'm providing detail that is bearing D45 and search. What I'm getting only one record. The detail I will provide, I will get the specific material. So that is the intention to show you here. The more detail we will provide here, we will get specific. So now I'm clearing the entry, and now what I'm trying to do, I'm again trying to search with some other details, some number I have given, and try to search it. So you can see, based on that, I have only one detail. So that's what it is appearing. Which is this detail? This is the detail about the manufacturer number. This is the detail about the manufacturer number. So I have just given the manufacturer number as in the search term level. I just search it and I found this number.
Aditya, I have one question over here because this
Now,
is it.
let me finish. Let me finish. No, please. No, please let me finish that. Okay. Let me finish, then I will take all those questions. Please write down your question. Sure. Not forget your question. Let me finish it because I'm. So now, see, now I'm trying to search based on some certain criteria. So the first criteria I have taken, that is base unit of measure. Criteria I have taken that manufacturer part number, and the third criteria I have taken, that is material type. So this is the three major criteria. I can take more than that. There is a plus sign. So if I click on plus, more criteria will. Okay. So now I'm entering the unit of part and search. The moment I click on search, see here previously my search criteria was only the description or only the manufacturer part number. But here my search criteria is more prominent. I'm doing the search based on three different criteria: base unit of measure, manufacturer part number, and material type. And based on that, I'm getting this result, where you can see I have total 3 materials found, where 2 materials are in staging area. That means the first material I can say it is in change mode. The third number material is in still creation process because the material number is not permanent material number. That means still it is in creation stage. And middle material, like the second material, which is in the active. Now Now this detail, this three criteria, I want to save, because these three criteria I need in future also for my search activity. So what I will do, uh, one option called save search as, which is like a variant. In SAP system, the way we save the variant, like whatever the input we have, based on that, I'm saving the variant. It is exactly that concept, saving the variant. So here I'm entering some name, so search part number and save it. Search. Now see, now I'm clearing the entries and select here the search method is enterprise search. So I'm selecting the enterprise search and save search. That means the variant. What is the variant I have here? That is search part number, which just now I have saved it. So that search part number, the moment I select the variant, the same combination has been came out. Base unit of measure, which is having EA, manufacture part number, which is having 6245 type, is having ERSA. And now if I click on search, the same kind of a detail I will get. So now this is nothing but we can save the variant here. See, another criteria here, that is called fuzzy search. Okay, what is called fuzzy logic? Fuzzy logic is one methodology, one specific methodology. Fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is nothing but one specific methodology. What is this fuzzy logic? The best example to understand the fuzzy logic concept is when we enter in Google, let's say India, immediately you will see the relevant word or relevant search criteria with respect to that particular India. It will come like Indian culture, like Indian food, like India capital, like this kind of relevant detail it will come. The same activity we can also see in SAP system. Now if I go to SAP system and if I, let's say, go to AC38 and let's say Z, the moment I give Z, relevant program related to Z all are coming here. Okay, so that is nothing but called fuzzy logic concept. So this fuzzy logic concept was not there in SAP earlier, but now it has been added in the SAP architecture as well. If you remember, when we started work on SAP, that time this kind of concept it was not there. But latter point of time, SAP also adopt this particular concept, this methodology. So the same methodology we have in MDG as well. Okay. So now there is an option called fuzzy search in the search criteria. So when I check the fuzzy search, this check button, and I'm trying to search with some, in the search term, I'm giving some detail like bearing deep grove and click on search. See, this is the entry which we are getting here related to this search term, and the fuzzy search is basically related to this data, whatever the search items we have, that it will bring here. That is more or less search. That means I cannot say fuzzy search is different and search is different. No. Fuzzy is a methodology which is associated with search. So now you can say, what is the difference? Whatever you have told in the previous example, it is the same thing. Yes, it is the same thing. Because fuzzy search is not a different search. Fuzzy is a methodology which is associated with search. Okay. Now I'm going to clear the entry, and here I'm going with classification. So we know that we also have the detail about the classification and characteristics. So the class type. So always the class type we have, that is 001. That is the material class type we have. Then the moment we provide the class type, it will ask you the class name. Which class name you are looking for. Then I can select the class name from F4. So here I'm selecting the class which having the contain keyword bearing. So I can see there are two classes which is having the detail about the bearing. Okay, so I'm selecting one of the class and adding the characteristics. So when I have a class, I have a consequences characteristics. So these are all characteristics which I have, which is material, some load capacity, some specification, some rock quantity. These are all characteristics of a class, the class which we have chosen. Now I'm selecting the characteristics. So that is inside diameter. So for this class, this is the characteristic inside diameter, and now I'm providing the value which is greater than 10 mm and click on search. That means I have given this class name and the characteristics is inside diameter. So I'm looking for a material which having the inside diameter is greater than 10 mm. This is the list of material which I have, which having this certain criteria. This is the list of material. So of staging and active data, it is giving me that list material, which is having the inside diameter more than 10 mm. Okay. Now also I can add more than one characteristics. Now the outside diameter. So the outside diameter I'm giving 200 mm. So that means my search is now very much specific, where I am saying the inside diameter is greater than 10 mm and outside diameter is less than 200 mm. Then see how many materials are available. Still 3 materials are available. Now again I'm adding one more characteristics, which is width, where I'm giving the width is 14 mm. And this is the list of C. I have only one material which is having this particular characteristic. So this is nothing but the search criteria which is happening on MDG. Yes. Now whatever the question you have, please tell me. Please tell me what is the question you have.
Aditya, I have one question. Like, when you
Yes.
had put this manufacturing 62042Z, so on the top of that there was search term. So is it that search term 1 and search term 2 which we use in the master?
This is the like a search based on whatever the data I'm giving. Search, it's a search criteria, like my description. Description of a material is my search criteria. So here I'm giving some bearing T. which is my search criteria. It is like
No, I
a
am
search by the text.
okay.
Search
So
by
this
text.
okay. So search term which is there in the just left to this bearing the 45. This search term is the standard one, or you have created.
No, no, no. These are all material in past I have created. In
Okay.
past, I have created those material and I am trying to search the material which I have created with the description.
Okay.
Okay. With the description, I am trying to search those material.
Mhm. Okay. So, is there any facility in MDG to tell the system that search by code or search by description? Like for example,
I
suppose
have search by description only I have shown you.
okay. So
Search
can
by
I
description only I have shown you.
correct? So, but can I swap it to search by code?
Search by
Code. Like what
search by
happens?
code.
Yeah, like for example, what happens? Suppose in the BP there are something called payment term. So payment term is a payment term is NT00, NT01, NT02. So suppose there are particular region people, they don't understand the things by the description, because NT00 is supposed payable immediately. NT01 is payable
That's what
after 10.
I have shown you here. Like in material, let's say I'm searching by using the base unit of measure or industry sector or manufacturer part number. Similarly, when you will come to BP, you will search with payment terms. You will search with address. You will search with pin code number. So these are all search criteria. That's what here, whatever you are seeing at this moment, I'm trying to do the search based on a specific criteria, not by the description. Is it by the description? The search which happening in front of you, is this I am searching by the description? No, I am
Mhm.
searching by specific criteria, by base unit of measure, manufacturer part number, material type. Similarly, when it will come to BP, it will have a BP ID, or let's say address details, pin code number, or payment method, payment terms. These are all criteria you can add and search accordingly,
Okay.
right?
Okay. And just confirm me one thing, Aditya. All these access class are SAP driven. It is given by the system and it has certain
It
methods,
is
and those.
absolutely driven by the system. It is
Okay.
absolutely driven by the system. Now I'm coming to the point. Now, yeah, what do you have another question? Please
Okay.
tell me.
Yeah. So I wanted to just know that all those save data, get data, because save data was helping to save, but search you stored something in the methods, in the varieties of NQ, DQ, all these methods. So those methods are already given in build. So we just have to
Yes, it
understand
is
that.
the standard method. It is a
Okay.
standard method. So it is executing means it is triggering by standard. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Aditya, one question. In search, we are using a and means field one and field two. Is it possible to use the or option also, field one or field two, and get the result? Hello.
Yeah, I understand your question. Yes, it is possible. So here, if you see that these are all conditions are the and conditions. Okay. So now your question is, if my condition is or, if this is the case or some other case. Now in this search criteria, like in this screen, let me check. whether we can set it, or otherwise we can set the thing programmatically. Just a minute. Okay, in the meantime, one more information I would like to share. That is the question which he was asking, that in the inside of access class we have save method, DQ, NQ, derived data, search activity, all those many activities are there. Whether those activities are taken care standard by SAP? Yes. The answer will be yes. It is taken care standard by SAP. Now, let's say some of the cases where I have added one custom field, but when I am adding the custom field, what is the consequence I have? That is, I need to do the SMT mapping. I need to do the generate specific structure, all those steps, if you remember, while we were doing in the data model chapter. So all those steps we are supposed to do, but still we are seeing the data is not standing on UI. I have also bring the data on UI, but still my data is not standing on UI, or still my data is not moving to the staging area. Because when your data will be in staging area, then after the necessary approval, then only your data will go to the active area. If you will not able to push the data from UI to staging area, your data will not go to the active area, right? So it is important, two things. One is your data should stand on UI, and your data should able to push the data from UI to staging area. Once your data will be in staging area, then thereafter there is no problem. Automatically, after the necessary approvals, it will go to the active area. However, this activity, whenever you will do the SMT mapping and all, it will happen automatically. If it is not happen, still you are saying that I have done SMT mapping, I have followed all the steps, still it is not happening. What is the way? Because somehow you have to do this. Then you have to forcefully push that particular custom field data to the staging area by using the access class method. Okay, what is that method? For that, either we can use access class for BP, particularly for BP, we use handler class. Now, what is the difference between the handler class and access class? Access class is basically to move the data from staging to active and search criteria. Handler class is for any kind of validation, derivation, any kind of this kind of like forcefully push the data to the staging area, all kind of activity can be done by handler class. So, okay, here is the one. As the page has opened, let's see. So now his question was, can we make the OR condition? Okay, so let's say no, I don't think so. Here it is possible to make the OR condition, but what we can do if we really want to see the data based on the OR condition, then we have to programmatically handle this. How we will handle this programmatically? Let's say uh, behind this there is some feeder class. So if I go to the technical help, I will definitely end up with some feeder class, the way we find the feeder class for UI, right? So application configuration. In this feeder class, we write the logic. At the same time, we have to build the buttons or any certain things on UI which is related for OR condition. So that way we can achieve it if any OR condition is required, because so far whatever you are seeing, it is an AND condition. If unit of measure is this, and if industry sector is this, so these are all AND conditions. So here we need to check what is the UIBB here. Go to the UIBB. So here material search. So this is the search criteria UIBB. Go to configure UIBB, and under this we have first view. Expand it. See, this is the view for the element, okay, for search. So material search root. One second, not this one. Let me go to the another UIBB. Search result list. So this is the result list for search. So here definitely we will have some feeder class. Let's see. So here general settings. So under the general settings, so this is the feeder class. So what you need to do, so this is the feeder class, CL MDG BS MAT feeder search list. So what you need to do here? Now you want the OR condition, right? Because already you in the search criteria it is there in AND condition, but you need a OR condition. So what you need to do, go to the feeder class, go to the get data. Under the get data method, you write the logic. Let's say you have a logic for if material type is equals to AEM or FERT, then there will be some message. Okay, there will be some message for hello world. So this piece of code you need to write under the piece of feeder class. Then what will happen? When you will come to the type AEM, so what will happen? Related to AEM or FERT, all kind of material will be listed. Or here not message, here search result. So all kind of material will be listed out here. So this is how you can achieve it by using this feeder class, because this is the feeder class which is responsible for material search. All kind of material search, this is the feeder class which is responsible for. Fine. Now I was talking about the handler class. Let me go to this AC24 and another class which is, let me write it down, the handler class name. So what is the handler class name? CL MDG, CL underscore MDG underscore BS underscore ECC underscore handler. So this is the handler class name. So what is the use of the handler class? So as I said, any kind of data validation, data derivation, check data, all kind of activity we can do here by using the handler class. In which case handler class will be only for business partner, not for money. Handler class will be used only for business partners. Okay, so here one of the major method is get object data by entity. So let's say what is my issue was, my issue was like I had, so let's say I have some custom field where the data of the custom field is not standing on UI and also the data is not moving to the staging area. So what I need to do? I need to do two things. One is UI and second thing is I have to move the data to the staging area. For that, this is the method which we have to use. Get object data by entity. So this is the method which will move the data to the staging area. Which will move the data to the staging area. Once your data will be in staging area, then after the necessary approval, automatically the data will be go to the. The major thing is you have to move the data to the staging area. So this is the handler class which we can use to move the data. Okay, so this is the significance of the handler class. What is handler class? What is access class? And how this handler class and access can be used for the data. Any questions so far? Okay.
I
Any
have
question?
a question on the search. Yeah, actually, this
Yeah,
when you want
please.
to implement the hub system, when you are implementing the hub system, which means, for example, I have one client system, which is not client. It's not my own system. It's for example, Salesforce. I have a Salesforce, and I want to configure my MDG search in the Salesforce. So we should use only key search, right?
Yes, you should use the key search. Okay,
But when you are
or you can do the one thing. That,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, please go ahead, go ahead.
When you are explaining about key search, you say that's not used much, right?
So far, the project we have done, majority cases customer is looking for whether database search, HANA based search, and enterprise search. The reason is the key search. First of all, the search takes time because the object ID goes from one system to another. Then it will have the search. Let's say I want to do the search in system 1. So first object ID will go to system 2. It will perform the search in system 2. Then again go with the result and will display the result. That's what the entire process will take some time to execute. So because of that reason, majority of the customers I have seen, they are not really interested for key search. If you are really look for a certain kind of, because see, the thing is end user will not wait for longer period of time. And moreover, when you have a huge amount of data, of data, that time to move from one to another system, having the search in that system and return back. Can you imagine how much time it will take? Even, let me tell you my experience. One of my clients, okay, search is taking fraction of second. When after giving the search criteria, it is taking fraction of second. Even some of my client in past, they are not ready for that also. So the customers are sometimes so impatient, they want the result immediately, or the end user want the result immediately. How we will meet the challenge that? What is the challenge for you? This is the challenge for you. How we will meet that? So definitely you have to eliminate this remote key. Then how we will do the search? Take the data from the relevant system, whatever the system you want, that is your primary system. Take the data back to the MDG system, perform the search in MDG, and then you can return back the data to the primary system with the data replication. But majorly whatever the search I'm talking about, it is within MDG, whatever the search I'm talking about. And majority customers will look for the search within MDG, because I'm whatever the example which I have given you, this is the what exactly execution I have shown. It is MDG search which is happening. The search is happening related to the MDG data which is having within the MDG system, whether it is a co-deployment system or hub system. So my recommendation is always try to look for a such a kind of a solution where you can able to perform the search within MDG by using HANA-based search, search, okay, rather than going for the remote key search.
So what is this web services configuration
Getting my
where we
point?
can involve, yeah, regarding about this SOA configuration to involve the search, right? You can use your web services configuration to configure your MDG search in the other system.
Yes. Yes.
So in such cases,
Yes.
what is actually happening there?
So SOA services you are talking about?
Yes, SOA architecture in the search.
SOA architecture basically we use to perform the data replication. SOA architecture is using for a data replication. When we are moving the data from, let's say, MDG to HANA, so we can use the SOA architecture for that. Okay. Now related to the search, yes, also we can use the SOA architecture. So there is some sort of list of configuration we have. So I can provide you those configuration, but the search criteria will remain same. That the data will, like, you are using MDG and HANA. Okay. So you have a MDG system on top of HANA. On top of HANA. Now you
Even
are
without
connecting HANA. What you are trying to say? Please tell me.
no, even without HANA, MDG 7 is not a HANA based, right? Even with MDG 7, they said that you can do a
No, no.
SOA configuration for the search.
MDG 7 also you can perform HANA. Only MDG 6.1 is not HANA.
Okay.
MDG 7.0 onwards, 7, 8, 9. In fact, 9 is S4 HANA, but MDG 7 and 8 also you can do HANA. Only 6.1 you cannot do. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, let's say I'm moving the data from MDG to HANA or some other system by using the SOA architecture. So what we can do, basically, to replicate the data from MDG to some other system, we can use, okay. And let's say I'm using the HANA database, and then how the search result will come? The search result will back whatever the configuration we have related to the MDG on top of HANA. That is the HANA based search configuration. Okay. Basically, the SOA we use for replication purpose. When we are replicating the data from MDG to some, let's say, HANA system or some other architecture we want to send. For that, we have a SOA architecture. Okay. If you open the architectural diagram, see here. Can you see the statement? What is it says? Client systems are integrated by various channels like SOA, ALE, RFC, and file format. So basically, the integration purpose we use the SOA. Clear?
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Yes, Aditya, clear.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is the architecture 0. So you can see here this is defined architecture. So here the left hand side is the source. In the middle section is nothing but your MDG, and the right hand section is nothing but the target.
Mm.
So we have MDS or normal SAP ABAP system or CRM system, SRM system, and also we can have SAP Fiori. Using FPM, we can also use Fiori, which is also associated with MDG. And at the same time, we can see the by using NWBC. Okay. And finally, once the data is prepared, then we can replicate the data to the target system. So more or less the architecture is only HANA introduced, the Fiori part optional for Either you can use FPM or you can use Fiori or UI5 as per your customer requirement. Other than that, architecture is remain same. Okay. So now any other question you have?
Yeah, Aditya, I
Yeah,
have. Go ahead.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
The last
One by
question.
one. Yeah. Please go ahead.
See, suppose there are, for
Please go
example,
ahead.
assume, the customer is having duplicates. Okay, customer says, I want to do a search in my local system and I want to filter it out. And then based on the conditions, in one of the document I read, in the hub systems, when you configure, you will do a search in your local system, and then you can even duplicate the data from the hub to your local. When you create, it gets indicated out to MDG. In this also we can use our normal searches, right? Enterprise search, and how will you configure the search in this case in your local system? For example, I want to configure it in CRM or in
Your question is related to the duplicate check, right? So how duplicate check your question, right?
in the client system. I want to do a duplicate check in my client system.
Okay. So you want to check the duplicate data by using the MDG search in the client system. That is your question,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yes. So duplicate check, yes. Duplicate check having a set of configuration. So far I'm talking about search. When I will come to the duplicate check, because duplicate check is another set of topic, that time you will see there is another set of configuration which we have, and that configuration which answer your question. If I have a duplicate check, then duplicate check goes hand to hand with search. So what will happen? I will check the duplicate data with the help of the search. Now, in your case, the requirement is little different. That is, you want to, again, same thing what you are looking for search. You want to do the search in the customer system or client system. Same way you like modified your question that you want to do the duplicate check in your customer system. So how it will happen? So the only way is you can use the remote key search. That is one option. Or the another option is whatever the local system data you have. Okay. So what we can do, we can create BAPI. We can create BAPI. By using the BAPI, what we can do, so like MDG is my hub system, and let's say you have the client system or customer system. So what we can do, by using BAPI, we can get the data in MDG. So let's say you want to check whether the industry sector, unit of measure, manufacturer part number, and manufacturer. This four combination is already present in the system or not for any certain data. So what we can do, by using BAPI, we can take the data from customer system to from client system to MDG, and here we can perform the duplicate check. We can perform the duplicate check and return the call. That is another option to do that. Okay, so we have to take the data from customer system. We need to do the duplicate check and we can return the call. Whether this particular data we have any duplicate record or not in a MDG system respect to this customer data.
Aditya,
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said that you will bring all those data from customer system to MDG via BAPI, so is it that DRF or BAPI here? What do you meant by BAPI?
See, the thing is, we can take the certain amount of data by using BAPI. It is not a data replication. It is I'm sharing some data. It is a RFC call. It is a RFC function module, which which is helping to get some detail from customer system to MDG. And based on that, I'm doing the duplicate check. Usually, this is not the way we are doing the process. The way is, whatever the customer data we have, first we take the data into MDG system. Then we perform the duplicate check and then return back the data with the customer data is any. First of all, if my customer system is a non-SAP system, after using that particular system mechanism, we will do the duplicate check in that particular system. Whatever the duplicate check and search we are talking about, it is respect to the MDG search and duplicate. So if I want the customer data to validate whether this record is a duplicate record in MDG system, what we can do, we can take the data from customer system to MDG, and based on that we can perform the duplicate check and search criteria. Or the another way is from the source we can get some information, and finally after finding the duplicate check we can return back to the destination system. So this is how we can do. This is purely related to MDG search and duplicate check. Yes, any further question? Please quickly. I have to
Okay.
close the call.
Okay,
Yeah.
Aditya,
Yeah.
there is, yeah. Okay, let me go ahead. Aditya, I have one question where actually currently we have a billing management system which is non-MDG. So the customer wants all those basically 5 or 6 fields which should come to our MDG box, basically the product information, product and the product details, the price and all. So what they want is they know something called Elastica search. So they want to use MDG for two purposes. One is to store and one is to search. So storing the data in MDG, why? Because they know that MDG is in the higher version. So they will be storing it. So maybe we will be using some database, some structure or some schema by which we can trigger those information to MDG. But they want to adopt that Elastica search. So Elasticsearch, what I have understood is something on the indexing, some indexing. So how can we make that new search called Elastica?
I don't know that. I'm not really about this Elastica search. I cannot help you on that.
But
Okay.
by bodies
But
or
one
search
thing I can help you, that is from no, I really don't know about Elastica search, so which I don't know, how can I help you? Okay,
okay.
so now what one thing I can help you, again I repeating the same thing, how we can get the data from customer system. We move the data to MDG. From customer system we move the data to MDG. Here we are performing the search and duplicate check with the help of data. So about Elasticsearch, so you with some commands. I'm not really aware. Okay. Okay. Any other question related to search? So far, at least whatever we have discussed,
Okay.
try
And the
to
last question.
discuss the thing which is.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. I have to close the call.
Elaborate
I have
T-Rex.
urgent meeting. Yes, please go ahead.
So what do you mean by this T-Rex? Is it only a other system which is not
I
compatible?
will talk about that. This is
Okay.
each and every search I will talk about in detail.
Okay. I'm done, Aditya.
Today I have just talked about how many different type of search, what is the access class, what is handler class, what are those different type of search used for different process. Now enterprise search, HANA-based search, database search, remote key search. Each and every configuration I will talk about.
Okay. I'm done, Aditya.
Okay. Okay. Any other question? Fine. Okay. So now
I think Jose was asking some question.
yeah, Jose, please go ahead. Whatever the question you have, please go ahead. Okay, fine. So now, I'm starting with database search. What is the database search process? So the relevant, okay. Now I'm going to SAP system. Database search is very easy and it is a very straightforward search. So go to MDG IMG screen and go to the general settings, go to data quality and search, go for search and duplicate check.
Aditya, I'm not able to see your screen.
And might be there's some screen delay. Can you see now the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So it is MDG IMG. Click on search and duplicate check and define the search application. So when you come to this particular page, we have a different type of search: database search, enterprise search, HANA-based search, remote key search. These are all different type of search we have. There is also another kind of search called address search. Address search is the old one of database search. Okay, so address search by name itself, it is you can understand search happening by address detail. Okay, or kind of a free text search. So it is an old one. So now it's been replaced by database search. Okay, so majorly 4 search we will talk about here: database search, enterprise search, HANA-based search, and remote key search. So first go with the database search. So as I said that every search has some access class, because some access class are always attached with this particular search. So this is the access class which is associated with this database search. That means the search which is happening through this access class. So if I copy this access class and if I go to the if I go to another system and go to SE24 and So this is the database search access class. CL underscore USMD underscore search underscore data underscore DB. This is the search for database search. Now here you can see what are those methods we have. One of the method is execute search. Okay, execute the search. That means I can say clearly that yes, this is the class which is helping in the search. Also, it can read the data from the entity type. Also, get the search help. Also, attribute that are relevant for duplicate check, as duplicate check is also connect with search. Okay. However, duplicate check is another set of discussion. So this is the class which is basically it's an access class or global class kind of which help to perform all kind of search, and finally it is also helping to move to so now go to the search. Okay, now select the DB search, database search. Here we have a 3 column. One is freedom, one is fuzzy, one is complex selection. That means whether free from search. Okay, free from search. Like free from search means the free text search. What we have seen in this video. Like we can see the data we are giving, that is the free text. So the search is happening based on the free text. That is nothing but the free from search. The another search is fuzzy, like a fuzzy methodology, which we know. And the complex selection. What is called complex selection? Like combinations we have, like based on some industry sector, base unit of measure, some manufacturer part number. So this is nothing but the complex search. Okay, based on some certain search criteria, the search is happening. Okay, so now I can put a tick mark, so where my search is covering these are all activities or not. By default, it only have the fuzzy search, complex selection or free from search is not there. But if you see the enterprise search, it has everything. You can see all the complex selection as well. Also, you can do the free from search as well. That's not a problem at all, whether it is tick or untick. So save it. Now select the DB and click on the left hand side, the allocation of search help to search application. Click on this. So this is the standard allocation. Respect to, you can see BP address, bank details, BP general data, BP roles, BP identification number. There are few included search help. What is this included search help? Included search help is basically used to help the duplicate check. So we have a different entity type for address data, for bank details, for general data, for BP rows. So based on that, we have a different included search help. That means respect to the different data, we can have a different duplicate check. So BP role related information, BP address related information, BP bank details, or BP general data, that I can make as a duplicate check as well. So that's what it is. By default, you will get the data model and the included search help for BP. Okay, fine. No need to select any allocation search help. I'm not going to select anything. So if I want to select anything, I can go to further some detail entities of that. Let's say bank detail. So if I want bank detail related entities, I can go to the allocation of entities to search help and see what are those entities are involved with this. That means the search and duplicate will happen based on this entity type. Anyway, I'm not going to select anything. Instead of that, I will straight to allocation of entity. Now, allocation of search help to search application or this entire thing, the included search help. This is related to different BP entity type. And as I said that respect to that, I need to define the different entities. But before that, come to the location of entities to search application. Here we have to define that related to the DB search, database search, what are those data model and what are those entity types are involved. So data model is BP, entity type is BP underscore header, the type 1 entity or the major entity which is associated with it. That is BP header. This is for the BP general information. Also, I need another type of entity, nothing but the address detail. So another entity type which will be associated with this database search, that is nothing but address number. Okay, address. So this is the two minimum entity type I must have related to the database search. That means my database search easily will happen in BP data model and particularly for entity type BP header and address number, which will cover the major part of BP, like the address detail, payment method, BP, all kind of BP related activities. Fine. I will back. Select the DB search again. Go to the allocation of search help. Go to the address data, allocation of entities, select the entities. What will be the entity? That is nothing but address. That is address number. Okay, then go back. Then the bank details, select the details, go to the allocation of entities, create new entry and select BP header. save the data. That's all. So this is related to I have just done for related to address data and bank data. Similarly, if you go for a BP general data, for BP general data also the entity type will be BP header. Create new entries, which is BP underscore header. Save it. That's it. That is all about the database search. Database search, you need not to do anything else. That's all. It's a pretty simple one, where you need to select the respective search and provide the allocated entities. Which entity and which data model will be reflect on database search. That is all about the database search. Okay. Now I am coming to the enterprise search. Enterprise search is a little tricky one. It is not as simple as database search. It has some list of activities along with the T-Rex configuration. So that I'm going to take it in the next class. Okay. So next class, majorly we will talk about enterprise search. In the meantime, I will try to prepare the parallel processing. Also, whatever Joe's questions we have last class, we will talk about that on MDG 9.0. However, today I thought to talk about MDG 9.0. Late. So next class we will talk about MDG 9.0, parallel processing and enterprise search. Okay.
Are you sending
Any
that
question?
PPT? Are you sending that PPT?
I will send you. I will send you MDG 9.0, this PPT, and also the detailed documents about the database search, remote key search, HANA based search, and enterprise search. Okay.
Okay, Aditya. So tomorrow we will be meeting, right?
Sorry.
The next class is tomorrow, right?
Yeah. No, not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm not really sure when to take the class. Probably I will take the class next Thursday. Okay. Next Thursday I will take the class. Thursday morning, same time. But I will intimate you. Will intimate through the coordinator. So when we will have the next class. So mostly it will be Thursday. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.